What if I tell you that learning grammar isn't just about memorizing grammar rules, but about using the language in real life? Good day everyone. For today's video, we will explore the three big ideas that shape language education: the competency-based language teaching, the standard movement, and a common European framework of reference. So, let's get started. Those are complex concepts, and I know it seems overwhelming, but let me break it down one by one. So let's imagine a journey. Let's begin in the 70s and 1980s with CBLT, or Competency-Based Language Teaching. Basically, this approach focuses on what learners can actually do with the language in real-life situations. CBLT has 8 key features. First, it focuses on successful functioning in the society. Now, the goal here is to prepare learners to become independent and capable of handling real-life demands using language. Second is emphasis on life skills. Language is taught as a tool for communication in daily tasks, not just as abstract grammar or vocabulary. Third is task or performance-centered orientation. What matters is what learners can actually do with the language, just like their performance, and not just what they know about it. The fourth one is modularized instruction. Learning is broken down into small, manageable units, like with clear, specific objectives, making the progress easier to track. Next, explicit outcomes. Here, the learning goals are clearly stated from the start, so students know exactly what behaviors and skills are expected of them. The next one is the continuous and ongoing assessment. Students are regularly tested before, during, and after learning, so if they don't reach the mastery, they keep working on that skill until they do. The next one is demonstrated mastery of performance objectives. The assessment is based on showing real skills like role-playing and completing tasks rather than just answering test questions. And the last one is individualized student-centered instruction, where lessons are tailored to each learner needs, pace, and level. Students move forward when they're ready, not according to fixed time schedules. Now let's talk about its approach, design, and procedure. In CBLT, language is seen as a tool for communication. Learners progress step by step, practicing until they can perform successfully in authentic classroom tasks. For the design, objectives are measurable. The syllabus focuses on skills and functions. Teachers act as facilitators and assessors. To put it in context, for the procedure or the application in real classroom setup, the teacher first surveys the students and then sets a clear goal. Next, the student starts the task or the role play, and then the teacher gives feedback, followed by the assessment of their performance. Only when they can do this confidently, they move on to another task. Now, CBLT here, language is a tool for real communication. Teachers are facilitators and assessors, while students actively practice survival and workplace skills. Now let's continue our journey jump to the 1990s, the rise of the standard movement. This focused on making goals measurable and consistent across schools. In language teaching, this meant no more than random lessons. Instead, teachers aligned lessons to clear standards set by education authorities. For example, a grade level standard might say by the end of grade 9 student, they should be able to write a 2-paragraph opinion essay. So, the teacher designed writing activities where students draft, revise, and submit essays. Assessment used a rubric aligned with that standards. So basically, the standard movement isn't a teaching theory. It works alongside with approaches like CBLT or communicative teaching, language teaching, as long as learning outcomes can be measured. So, assessment standard, the teacher acts as an implementer and evaluator, delivering lessons that might meet prescribed standard and checking progress with rubrics, quizzes, and portfolio work.
And here we are our last stop, the early 2000s with the Common European Framework of Reference, or CEFR, developed by the Council of Europe in 2001. So this framework standardized language learning across the countries using levels you probably heard of A1 to C2. So CFR has 6 levels. The first one is the A1 and A2. So it means A1 and A2 is a basic user. The second is the B1 and B2, an independent user. And the last is the C1 and C2. C1 and C2 is a proficient user. So CFR has an approach. CFR doesn't give a fixed syllabus. Instead, it offers can-do statement for listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Design in the classroom looks like this. At A1 level, the students practicing saying their name, the age, where they live, through paired introductions. At the B1 level, the students practice role plays where they explain a problem at the airport or hotel. And the last is the C2 level. Students debate social issues, demonstrating precision and fluency. The next is the CFR procedure. Teachers adapt CFR descriptions into class tasks. For example, if the CFR goals says, can write clear, detailed text on familiar topics, the teacher assigns an in-class essays on family traditions, then checks it against the descriptor. So here, the teacher is guided and adapted using CFR levels as a roadmap for lesson planning and assessment. Let's continue. What are the roles of teachers to those 3 approaches? So first, in CBLT, the teacher is a facilitator and assessor, guiding students in real tasks like mock interviews or role plays. And the second is in the standards movement. The teacher is an implementer and evaluator, ensuring lessons meet external standards like essay writing or oral fluency rubrics. And the last is in CEFR. The teacher is a guide and adapter, designing tasks that match descriptors like storytelling for A2 or debates for B2 to C1. So here's the journey. The first is a CBLT. In the 70s to 80s, made language practical through classroom tasks. And the next is the standards movement. In the 90s, made learning measurable and consistent. And the last is CEFR in 2001, created a global framework. So whether you're in Spain, France, or in the Philippines, your English level means the same thing. Thank you for watching, and keep making your classrooms a space where language comes alive. Thank you so much for watching.